Hello, everyone. I'm Reverend Carol, and I'll be bringing this week's story to you. I hope you're doing well. I know that school is about to end, and it's been quite the school year. The weather is warming up. So, the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about the earth and how we can be better stewards of our earth. Now, the story that I'm going to be sharing with you today will be the last in this series about the earth. But today we're kind of expanding it and we're going to be talking about the universe. And when I say universe, that refers to everything. That's not just our planet Earth, but all the planets in our solar system and all those galaxies that exist. So it's everything that is part of the whole. We call that whole, when we're speaking about planets, the universe. So that's a pretty big thing to try to imagine. You know, it's kind of uh, it's infinite. We don't even know how big our universe is. Not yet. And it's kind of like the universe within us is so big and so infinite. It reminds me of Jesus' words that the kingdom of heaven is within you. And that is the grandest wonder of the universe. Looking within and finding our own infinite spirit. And I want to share with you, before we get into our story, our affirmation today. Now, I'll say it first, and then I'm going to invite you to say the affirmation with me. I expand my heart and use my imagination, and I fill the universe with love. All right, now I invite you to join with me. I expand my heart and my mind and using imagination, and I fill the universe with love. That's a lot of love. Well, let me tell you a little bit about our story before we get into it. It's actually based on facts about the Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, and they were spaceship probes, and they were launched in 1977, very long time ago for most of you. But did you know those probes are still transmitting data? And they are now reaching the edge of our own solar system? Yeah. And their journey is going to continue into deep space and across the universe. And the scientist who headed that team was Carl Sagan. And he recorded a golden record that's included on both Voyager space probes. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It was a golden record. And his wife, Linda, was the artist who worked on the project. And their son, Nick, was chosen as one of the voices used in the recordings. And you know what else? Nick got to choose what he would say. I think that's pretty cool. If you could send a message to other planets in the galaxies, what would you say? Hmm. What do you think people on another planet would like to know about our Earth? Would you like to travel in space on a spaceship? We're getting closer and closer to that every day. Do you think beings on another planet believe in God? Hmm. What do you think we can learn from people from other planets? Well, The name of our lesson today is called The Message. Mike's father was a scientist. He wrote books and taught people about the planets and stars, and he talked about finding life on another planet someday. He once told Mike, the total number of stars in the universe is larger than all the grains of sand on all the beaches of the planet Earth. Sometimes Mike would play in his sandbox and think about that. He would try to imagine every grain of sand as a star. One day, Mike was under the dining room table playing with his dinosaurs when his father came home from the university where he worked. Mike could tell his dad was excited. He told Mike and his mother all about an important new project that NASA was planning. NASA designed and built rockets and trained astronauts. NASA had sent astronauts to the moon before Mike was born. Their new project was called Voyager, and they wanted Mike's dad to help. Two spaceships were being sent out into the universe to collect information and take pictures. The ships would then send the information back to Earth. There wouldn't be people in the ships, just scientific equipment. These two trips would travel for hundreds, maybe thousands of years, and go way out into space where even the astronauts had never been before. Mike wasn't a scientist. He was only 6 years old. So when he realized his parents were going to be talking about Voyager for a long time, he went back to playing with his dinosaurs. As the Stegosaurus and the Tyrannosaurus Rex battled under the table, Mike didn't really pay attention when his dad said something about sending a message into space. Other kids had parents who talked about cars or football or the latest movies. But Mike's parents, at Mike's house, the conversation was about the moons of Jupiter or how long it would take to travel to a distant star. Mike's mom was an artist and a writer, and she was hired to be part of the Voyager team too. So Mike would often hear the adults' enthusiastic voices discussing outer space long after he was in bed. After a while, Mike grew to understand that the Voyager probes were not only going to collect information to send to Earth, but they were also going to carry a message from the people of Earth out into the universe. Perhaps one day, someone from another planet would get the message. What would you put into a message that would travel across the universe? Mike's dad was in charge of the team that would decide. The pictures and sounds of the message would go on a record made of strong metal and covered in gold. It would be strong enough to survive the long journey through space. Mike's mother drew pictures that would be etched into the outside of the record. The team looked through thousands of pictures from across the planet. They wanted to show what Earth was like and who the people of Earth are. Eventually, they chose pictures of buildings and peoples and animals from around the world, images of elephants and monkeys and even of food. Mike thought they should send pictures of dinosaurs, but then he thought maybe the people who found the message wouldn't know the dinosaurs were extinct. They listened to the recordings of the sounds of Earth, thunder and rain, ocean waves, and animal sounds. They decided to include the sounds of whales and birds singing along with many other nature sounds, including the sound of a kiss. Music was also a part of the message, and the team had to choose music from cultures around the world. Mike only heard some of the things, of course. He was only 6, and not an official member of the team, but he knew it was very important. And the idea that someone from another planet may hear the message someday was exciting. And the first part of the record would be greetings from the people of Earth. Of course, they didn't know what kind of language a person from a distant planet across the galaxy would understand, but they wanted to send greetings anyway. So they recorded people expressing friendly greetings in 55 different languages from different countries around the world. One of the languages had to be English, but whose voice should say hello to the unknown person who might find the Voyager ship and play the message? Should it be the President of the United States, the smartest scientist, a famous actress? They chose Mike. His father carefully put the microphone on the table in front of Mike. Are you ready? Mike nodded his head. What would you like to say? His dad asked. Well, Mike smiled and imagined other planets with dinosaurs and space creatures and beings who might be looking across space toward the distant planet Earth. He spoke clearly for the golden record. Hello from the children of planet Earth. Can you imagine someone hearing that message, even though it was recorded a very long time ago? I think that's pretty cool. Everything is connected. Everything is within the universe. So I'm glad you joined me today. We miss you here at Unity of Boston, and we hold you in our prayers all the time. I hope you enjoyed the story, and I hope you enjoyed all the stories about the Integrity of the Earth series. And if you've learned new ways to be good stewards of the earth, I hope you have a wonderful day. So until next time, I want you to know that we all here, we love you, we bless you, we so appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Until next time, bye.